just heard an air alarm, which means that all the babies are being taken to the basement for safety.
Я донор 4133.
In a country at war, couples from around the world are still coming to have children through surrogacy. But is this conflict pressuring vulnerable women to carry a child for someone else?
Если бы не было войны, я бы не решилась, наверное, пойти на суррогатное материнство. Я готова пройти несколько программ, сколько мне нужно, поскольку позволит мое здоровье.
This offers Black Friday sale in babies. They are not hiding, they're outright saying what they're doing, they're selling babies.
And when deals go wrong, it's those babies who can pay the price. Now, a new law could ban surrogacy in Ukraine for foreign parents. But would that shut down one of the world's biggest surrogacy markets? And would it harm the women who depend on it?
It's a beautiful day. Skies are blue, sun is shining, and we are very excited to meet our baby.
Elena and Igor have just crossed the border into Ukraine, a country battered by 4 years of war.
It's very nice outside, quiet.
Quiet, no bombing.
No bombing.
We are safe.
They drove nearly 2,000 kilometers from Macedonia.
I was so scared to come, like everything that you see on the news, and it's a war.
We want to be parents, so we're gonna do anything to become parents. We're gonna move mountains to be parents.
This wasn't an easy choice. 9 years trying to have a child, multiple rounds of IVF and surgeries. Surrogacy was their last resort. And Ukraine offered something few countries could: a legal, well-established and affordable system. Even from afar, they tried to be part of the pregnancy. But Elena was never pregnant. An embryo created from hers and Igor's genetic material was implanted into a Ukrainian woman who carried their baby, a surrogate.
It's like, for example, you're making a muffin recipe, you put all the ingredients and you put in another oven to bake.
Now, after 9 months, they're meeting their son for the first time.
At some time, I'm saying, okay, is it really happening? It's happened. It's ours. It's just you wish for so many years, and then it came true.
It was the best thing that happened in our whole life.
Elena and Igor are not alone. Every year, thousands travel to Ukraine for surrogacy. Even when Russia invaded Ukraine, the war disrupted the industry, but it didn't stop it. We're inside one of the biggest surrogacy agencies in the world. There are at least 30 surrogate mothers, each carrying a baby for a foreign couple. For many of them, this has become a lifeline to make a living during the war.
Hey. Nice to meet you.
This is our treasure. This is the most valuable thing. This is where we keep all the embryos that we have, all the embryos that we use in our programs, and you can have a look.
So how many embryos do you have here?
We have more than 10,000 embryos here.
And these are then transferred into surrogates?
Yeah, exactly. We are in our basement, and we are happy that we have the secure place for the embryos to be stored.
So in case of an attack, this is protected?
Yeah, this is the most protected place in our clinic.
Я Карина, мне 22 года. Я сейчас ношу ребенка для китайской пары.
When Karina was 17, a Russian attack destroyed her home in Bakhmut, leaving her homeless. Was there a moment where you realized that you needed to find another way to make money?
Да, когда ты копейки считаешь, чтобы пойти купить хлеб. И мы начали считать копейки, чтобы реально прокормить ребенка на ту же смесь, на памперсы. И тогда я начала задумываться, что нужно что-то делать.
Now she's being paid around $17,000 for the pregnancy.
Я знаю, що це не моя дитина. Я її люблю, я з нею розмовляю. Коли вона мене штовхає сильно, то я з нею розмовляю.
The payment was meant to be higher, but one of the babies didn't survive.
А если бы не было войны, я бы не решилась, наверное, пойти на суррогатное материнство.
Critics say stories like Karina's raise difficult questions.
Surrogacy clinics have been pretty open that they target poor women. And with the war going on, the number of poor women is growing. Even in the conditions of the war that Russia has been waging against Ukraine, Ukraine stays one of the major hubs for surrogacy because the number of women who are desperate, who are destitute, who lost their livelihood, their jobs, they want to survive and support their families. And surrogacy clinics offer them this opportunity because Western couples want to buy babies on the cheap.
Я донор 4133.
Surrogacy clinics don't see it this way. They say they offer women a way to earn money legally while helping others have a child. But this is part of a multi-billion-dollar global business. Across websites and social media, clinics compete for clients. Their marketing can be direct, even aggressive.
Є вибори, які вимагають від жінки сили. Є ще один вибір, не менш сміливий. Вибір подарувати шанс на батьківство.
Another manipulative tearjerker. This offers Black Friday sale in babies. So they are not hiding, they're outright saying what they're doing, they're selling babies.
The transactional aspect of these surrogacy agreements comes with consequences. We found that in many cases, intended parents are delayed in traveling to Ukraine to collect their newborns. Some clinics even set up dedicated baby rooms, where a team of nurses and nannies look after babies around the clock.
What's the longest that a baby has stayed here before their parents arrived in Ukraine?
Це я не можу вам на це питання відповісти.
Але ви знаєте.
Ну, так.
She can't say. You can't say.
Да, ми не можемо це розповідати. Да.
So we just heard an air alarm, which means that all the babies are being taken to the basement for safety.
It's in this tense and high-risk environment that intended parents sometimes leave their newborns. In some cases, it's for months at a time. This child was born through a surrogate mother over a month ago, but is still not yet being collected.
How often are babies born through surrogacy left behind?
80%.
At one point, Svetlana looked after twins for 11 months.
But don't you think that leaving their babies for nearly a year is a bit selfish and a bit careless?
Ну, це ненормально. Але, на жаль, випадки у нас було. Не так давно забрали двійню. Оце було стресово. І я віддавала, і я плакала. Це боляче. Бо там ти дітей вже сприймала як своїх. Ну, вони росли, ти бачила, як вони ростуть, як вони розмовляють, як вони зуби лізли. Коротше, ні, тому що це для мене до сих пор болезненно.
But not every baby is collected. Wei was born through surrogacy in 2021.
І це така особлива дитина для нас. Дуже любить бути серед людей, бути серед дітей.
Wei was born prematurely with a severe brain injury. He cannot sit unaided, hold his head, or see properly. When his intended parents were told about his condition, they did not come for him.
So his biological parents just disappeared.
Я тільки знаю, що його народила сурогатна мама для іноземців. Вони відмовились, коли дізналися, що він народився з інвалідністю. Мені боляче, завжди боляче, коли сім'я відмовляється від дитини.
We put these concerns to the agency responsible for Wei's surrogacy.
Do you personally take any responsibility when a child is abandoned?
Ну, частично, наверное, да. Если где-то мы совершаем медицинскую ошибку и случаются преждевременные роды, или где-то мы не досмотрели, и потом родители отказываются, ну, частично это, я считаю, что часть это наша вина.
You previously said that that child is more dead than alive. Do you stand by that?
Но на тот момент я думал, что он не выживет.
Did they do anything to help?
Нам ні. Ні. Ніхто ні з якої клініки не звертався до нас для того, щоб допомогти цій дитині.
But that could be about to change. The Ukrainian parliament is debating a new law that could ban surrogacy for foreign parents, effectively shutting down one of the world's biggest surrogacy markets.
How often are children born through surrogacy left behind?
There is a lot of children that are left behind. And it's not only children that are left behind, we don't know where the children go from there. As soon as they get picked up from this country, we don't know what happens to them. I think it's a concern for any resident of any country. Surrogacy is one of the ways for children trafficking. It is.
Would this law solve that problem?
We do believe that it will minimize that. The goal of that bill is to have regulations, because we don't have them at this point at all.
We asked the health ministry for official data, but no authority we contacted could provide any. Politicians are also worried about falling birth rates, driven by the exodus of many young Ukrainian women. The argument: Ukraine should not export babies to foreigners at a time of deep demographic crisis. But for those women who choose to do it, this is a lifeline in a country where war has stripped away their livelihoods. Anastasia became a surrogate after her home in Kherson was destroyed and her father was killed in a Russian drone strike.
Я проти цього законопроекту вообще, категорично проти. Лишати можливості заробити, относительно непогані гроші для України. Йдуть добровольно, ніхто тебе не заставляє туди йти.
And for many couples from all over the world, this is what made their hard-fought dream of becoming parents come true.
I think it's totally
Wrong.
It's unhuman.
Like this, we help them, they helped us. Without this, we will not have our Alexander here with us now.
Чтобы купить дом, исполнить свои желания, я готова пройти несколько программ, сколько мне нужно, поскольку позволит мое здоровье.
We don't know what happens to the women after they hand over the babies. As far as I know, there is no usual practice to provide them psychological support or legal support or anything else. And whatever medical issues they have as a result of surrogacy are not the problem of the company and not the problem of the customers. So women are left to pick up the pieces.
Surrogacy agencies told us they do not target vulnerable women and that their surrogates are consenting adults who want to help infertile couples.
Everything is good. We are now heading back in the road, so see you.
Many countries have already banned or restricted surrogacy. How long will this window of opportunity remain open? It is now up to Ukrainians to decide the future of surrogacy, with a vote on the proposed ban expected this year.
За 2,5 років, на жаль, ніхто не цікавився Веєм, ніхто не задавав запитання про нього. Я думаю, що в нього дуже маленькі шанси на те, що його усиновлять.